Good morning, colleagues. Good morning, everyone. My name is Kosie Tuntuli. I'm from the Research Capacity Development Unit. I would like to welcome each and every one of you colleagues and thanking you for your attendance of today's workshop titled Virtual Collaborations Tools and How They Can Enhance the Academic Research. As I've mentioned earlier, I am from the Research Capacity Development Unit, and this workshop is facilitated by Dr. Arno Lu, who is from CAT. Thank you once again, Dr. Arno, for honoring our invite in facilitating today's session. Thank you so much, Doc, for that. Now, colleagues, before we can move any further, I would just like to let you aware that this workshop is recorded. This is for the purpose of keeping all the records of our workshop, as well as to share the recording of each workshop with all our participants and to the with the colleagues who didn't attend the workshop. So the recording will be available to your respective model communities, which is the supervisor community as well as the PDRF model community. So the workshop will be uploaded together with the presentation slides of this workshop. Just before I can introduce our facilitator, I would like to go through some few housekeeping rules. Please feel free to use the chat to ask question or raise your hand if you do have a question, and I will notify Dr. Arno that someone has raised the hand or has a question, or alternatively, you can just type under the chat or under Q&A if you do have any question, and I will notify Dr. Lu that someone has a question. Doc, if I may ask, would you prefer to take questions at the end of your presentation, or do you prefer to take them along the way as you go with your presentation?
Thank you for the question. Yes, I think at the end will be better. You can see everybody there on the screen. I just put down something to make it easier. So I also asked under the third bullet, ensure that the questions in the chat are aligned with what we are discussing at that moment to avoid interrupting the audience's flow of thought. And
Yes.
you will also see that because can become disruptive, and also the idea is that during the online activities, in one of them, I have hidden the link to download the slides. So you have to do the online participation, else you cannot get the link to the slides. Thank you.
Well, that is very great, Doc. Just to allow engagement and 100% participation from the audience. So, colleagues, please be lookout for that link. Dr. Anna will be sharing a link where now, if we complete that activity, and then we will have access to the presentation of this workshop. I'll be also sharing a feedback under the chat toward the end of the session. So we kindly request you colleagues to take your 3 minutes and fill that feedback in. It helps us in terms of improving our service delivery, as well as to give feedback to our facilitators for taking their time. So we usually share the feedback as well as the attendance reports with our facilitators, probably in a week or 2 weeks after the workshop, just to allow all the participants to fill in the feedback. Now, colleagues, I introduce our facilitator. I'll just going through his bio. Dr. Anolu is a teaching and learning consultant, instructional design at the University of Johannesburg Center for Academic Technologies, known as CAT. He has been involved in curriculum development and implementing computer courses involving the integration, application, implementation, and evaluation of computer-based education courses. Dr. Arno has been involved in projects at the University of Johannesburg since 1998 and was also a co-author and researcher of computer-based textbooks for the Gauteng Department of Education. Research and course development include training educators, subject facilitators, presentations, and implementation of research and publications and presentations of papers on implementation of web-based education in the school system. That was Dr. Arno, colleagues. Once again, I would like to thank our facilitator for taking his time, and thanking you, colleagues, for taking your time as well in joining us in today's discussion. We're looking forward to a productive and insightful session. I now hand over back to Dr. Arno. Dr. Arno, you can start with your presentation. Thank you.
Thank you very much for that warm welcome, and thank you everybody for joining. And I hope there's some food for thought and ideas to take along with you after this presentation. So what is important for me is that nowadays, the new norm is that people usually work and gather things online. So this whole workshop, which I presume might take 2 hours or so, but I think will be done before that. And it is the goal is to explore for you here and there and to demonstrate by using your input and practice using online virtual collaboration tools to streamline academic research, especially in distributed or interdisciplinary teams. So the idea is also you'll find groups of people and sometimes groups of people from different disciplines. And I hope that these ideas will be good for you so that one can see. But thank you for the warm welcome, and let's get going. So the whole idea is we are going to look at identifying key collaboration tools, and especially for what is available at UJ and within the research realm of UJ. We're going to look at Microsoft Teams a little bit. I'm going to demonstrate, if we get to all of them, Miro, Zotero, and Google Docs. Notion, I'm not very fond of doing now, but the idea is there for a lot, especially to organize things. We're going to plan, collaborate research activities, and then reflect on ethical, logistical, and productivity aspects of research collaboration. So, if we look at collaboration, usually what one finds is that you'll find people collaborating, joining, and doing different things online. For instance, this is a research proposal for getting a research grant, and a few people are working on it together. So they all check and see what they can do, and talk the whole time, collaborate in one document, and get these things going. Now, if we look at the reasons for why people do a collaboration and why they have to do this online, because it's quite important, is you will see it gives the facilitators remote and global teamwork, and it enables the collaboration across time zones in different countries, institutions, and continents. So you can gather data and collaborate online with research through various worldwide. It's globally available. It supports interdisciplinary collaboration. It enhances co-authoring and document sharing. It improves your project plans, task, and management. because a lot of the time you hear about people and everybody's excited about a project or research and getting data, and then it's quiet for a year. And then suddenly someone pops up, and then somebody goes in and says, well, this must be done at a conference. The grant won't be extended if we don't present it tomorrow. Then everybody jumps in, and you get a very weak project that comes out of it at the end, something that's not significant, or it's not well thought through. It's not deep enough research. It's very shallow. And then it is all because of bad management. So these online collaboration tools and the idea of speaking to people helps a lot with that. Um, we can do a centralized reference management, enable real-time data collection and the analysis at the same time. It would boost communication and feedback loops. Because if any article or research being done does not promote a discussion about it, then it's not good research. Then you don't get perspectives. So one must take that in account as well. Um, it definitely aids in visual thinking and brainstorming, because if you think that we as academics only think in terms of, like I've got now on the screen, bullets and tables, that is a mistake. People first identify an image, then they analyze it to make sense out of it. So it is the perfect balance between critical and creative thinking. And then also it ensures continuity, that it goes on and doesn't seize up for a few months, and it's data backup. There, like this presentation is recorded, so in the same way your data and the context in which it took place is recorded so that one can understand if you look at the data. And do not make statistical statements like 50% of the people like the red Kit Kat chocolate. But meanwhile, during the data gathering, everybody received a Kit Kat chocolate free. So is that ethically correct? Was it within context or so? So all of those things are very important for the non-verbal context, the context in which the data was gathered. And then, of course, I can archive and reuse certain things I got during research. Right. So in an online environment, it can become difficult. So one of the tools to gather data, for instance, I can find in Microsoft Teams. I can find a lot of free ones online. All you have to do is Google and see and plan these things. Do I have more than 50 participants, and maybe something else must be used? In Zoom, in Teams, these things are available when I do an online collaborative session, when I work with people, or when I simply want to gather data from an audience. So in Microsoft Teams, for instance, I have got apps that's available. And in apps, I can, for instance, get something like voting polls, which have got various aspects. One of those ones is, for instance, a simple voting poll. And I'm sharing it with you now on the screen. So let me just see that it loads quickly. Right, and let me just get down to it. It is that one. And I'm going to launch it now. So what I've done is I've set it up previously. So now I can put the voting poll on the screen. Right. So I'm going to put something in here, for instance, and see if it goes through. So there we go. Right. So what happens now is I can either share the results for the audience or look at what you are doing. So the moment you participate in the voting poll, you'll see that I get a response. So I would like a few of you just to respond to the voting poll that's now on the screen. And as you respond, you would see my statistics and the data analysis immediately, right? 3 responses already. Come, people, I've got 18 in the room, so please respond. Because within these responses, I've got the link to the slides hidden as well. So you won't get the slides if you don't respond. Respond. 4 people already have done it before, right? So you are more than welcome to do this. 5 responses, good. And you can see immediately now for the rest of my workshop, I can know how to conduct this. And I can do it in various ways. So you can see there, I've got my responses going. 6 people already. Where's the rest? It is live. Right. I'm going to go on until I have 18 responses. 17, I see. Right. Let's take time for a few others to respond. You won't break a plastic nail. Let's do it quickly. Right. Have you collaborated before in an online environment? So far, 63% said yes, 38% said no. And in such a way, I can gather the data to people and from them. So now that I've got it, I don't know who responded now, but I get anonymous responses, and now already I am ready to make a conclusion. Okay, so those things can all be done at the same time. Right, there we go. Okay, so my responses already have shown me quite a few things that I can see online here. Just to make this bigger. Right, and this will be the way. Let me just see if I can. Yeah, I have only got the statistics on the screen. I can choose if I want to share this on the screen. Okay. Right. So I've got my questions up here and I can actually see the responses in here. Okay. View results and I can see them all. Let me just see if I can share the results. Okay. I can even export it here. So the export will give the results to me in a specific form. And that form makes it easier. So by a simple voting poll, let me just close the poll. I am able to gather data online like this. And this would be an online collaboration tool, would be the voting poll. Right, so, and I just want to open this file quickly for you so that you can see, right? And you'll see on my screen the Microsoft Excel opens up, and that was the download. And there I get the data from here. Okay. You can set all of this so that you can actually know at the end whether the voting poll was done. I think everybody can see it because I'm sharing the screen. Right. Okay, so what I can do now, because I get an Excel download, is I can simply go and I can, if I wanted the name, I could have given it. But what I could do is I can just highlight this while I'm in Excel without worrying about doing a lot. And I just insert, let's say I'm going to do a simple bar chart from that. Okay.
Sorry, Doc, to interrupt.
Yes. Yes.
I don't know if it's me, but we don't see your current screen, the one that you are working
Okay.
on.
Okay. Let me just share again quickly. I've been through various screens. I think that's why it's happening. Let me just see quickly. Okay. Right. Let me first just switch off the camera. I think that might be, this is typically what I wanted. So we'll talk about this now. Can you see it now?
Not yet, but colleagues can confirm if they can see it. It's still loading on my side.
Okay.
Okay, I see thumbs up, meaning colleagues can see your screen, Doc.
Okay. So what I can actually do now is I've just downloaded the voting poll results and I can now insert a chart with my simple Excel. Let's make it a 2D bar. And now, of course, with simple Excel, I can now go and I can just select the data. And I'm going to select this data. Right. Okay. Yeah, I've got the heading in here as well. So if I do the whole thing and I had 2 or 3 questions in here, then that is what would have appeared in this graph as I do it with either a filter or so. Let's add the title, add the data labels, a table I can put in, a legend I can put in. So with this, if I had more questions and I've downloaded it, I would have had 2 dimensions with which I could have shown the yes, no, or so in this thin bar chart that is given to me. Right. So by simply using Microsoft Teams, I can get the data. Now, another modern way of using the polls, let me just quickly open it up again with the apps. A modern way actually is if I use what we call a word cloud. So let me open this word cloud quickly. And these are quite interesting because from them I can get a lot of data that comes from people. Right, so let's check this poll here, and I'm going to launch it. Right, just give this. Okay, right. Okay, just give me an indication. Can you all see the word cloud poll on the screen yet?
Yes, Doc, we can see.
Okay, cool. Right. So it says there in the poll, what do you think when you hear online collaboration? So you can only type in 1 or 2 words there where it says enter your response. So just type a word in there and submit it, and I'll share the results with you now. Please, everyone. Right, I don't see any submissions yet. I'm going to type a word in here. There, good, good, good. I'm typing in a word engagement and I'm submitting it. Right. Okay, someone else. I have 2 responses. Someone else. I'll share it with you quickly on screen. I want everybody to type in first before I share. Good, good, good. I'll show you now on the screen. I'm sharing it. Can you see there's the word cloud busy building? So the words, I want someone else's 4 responses already. Good, 5. The word that appears the most will become the biggest word amongst everything on the screen. So if you look there, okay, you can see the word online is the biggest one so far, right? With 6 responses out of 18 people. Right. So that is how a word cloud works. Um, and one can set it to put in as many responses as you want. So everybody so far in their responses have looked at online, but I can see all the options there: engagement, real time, interacting online. I get good, working remotely, working together online. So as people start typing in, the words that come up the most will appear larger than the others, and the words used the least will appear smaller than the others. So, in such a way, I can actually use the word cloud as a visual data, a representative. And then it will show me there's 7 responses already, which is nearly half of it. And that is how I get my data. So, especially in research where I want to see people's thoughts, quality, feelings around something, even a sentiment analysis, I can do by using a word cloud. If I view the results here, then you can see it automatically tells me which response, or of all of the responses, which was the common word found most in all the responses. Okay. Um, if someone would add, for instance, the word interaction, I'm just going to submit it from my side. Let's go back to the question. You'll see interaction is used also the same number of times than the word online. And I can see it there. I see interaction, I see interacting, interaction, and interaction. So it will make it a bit bigger. And that's how I would get data, by using what we call a word cloud. There are many free word clouds with it gives you the link, and the link one can put online. Right. So these are the ways in which I can do this. So let's just close the poll, and that would be the type of control you will have um, over these things. Right. Let's just reshare the bigger screen again. Right. Okay. So now that I see reasons for why people use these things online. I thought about putting this in, for instance. I can, of course, share the results with you. It downloads the word cloud as a picture, whereas with the voting poll, it downloads the result as an Excel file. And those are the things I can use in my research report live and in real time. Now, when I look at online stuff, you will most of the time, no, really not most of the time, you will see things happening like the participation of people, where they sometimes go deceased and you just don't get reactions. And what is interesting here is this is actually a video showing us what happens if online collaboration, like a meeting or drawing up something together, happens, and everybody should have been there in a physical environment. So these are the things we assume it happens like online, but the things we have to be prepared for when you do virtual or virtual online data gathering with various tools. It would look like this.
Dr. Anna, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
There is no audio from that video that is playing, so I thought it was
Oh,
my
okay, okay,
network, but I
okay,
see a comment as well from
uh,
the
okay,
participants.
okay. Let me play it again for you. Um, I actually, it's interesting that people picked it up right at the end. Um, let me do this again. Okay. I'll share it again, and then you see how people would have experienced an online meeting if it was physically done.
To get to this moment. It's top 25.
Is it better now?
Yes, Doc, now we can hear everything.
Okay.
Trip Crosby
has joined the meeting.
Ever wonder what a conference call would be like in person?
Beth has joined the meeting.
Hello?
Tyler?
No, this is Beth from ICS.
Oh, hey, Beth. Tyler?
Has joined the meeting.
All right, well, this is Trip. Who's here? Tyler's here.
Beth's here.
Okay, the purpose of today's meeting is to discuss the...
Yeah, I'll be able to do it in like 30 minutes.
John?
Has joined the meeting.
Hi, John. Hi. I was just trying to go over the purpose of today's meeting, which is to discuss the Tyler?
Has joined the meeting.
Sorry, guys, I got cut off.
Is Paul here?
Send him an invite.
Put in your access code.
No, that's your PIN number.
It should be a 9-digit number.
Try pressing the pound key.
Paul.
Has joined the meeting.
Any questions before we move on?
Yes, this is Beth. What's our best plan of attack for the second quarter?
Question
What
actually...
we should do.
Oh, go ahead.
Oh, well, I think
Well,
what we should do.
it
is
actually
really
depends on
diversify.
how you look at it, because
And
the
really come.
John, are you guys taking distributions? John?
Oh, my bad. I was on mute. Let me start over.
It's a great graph, John. Tyler?
Well, my main concern with the projections from year was that they're just insufficient. I mean, they're not even taking into account.
Did we lose Tyler again?
Hello?
So I prepared a presentation. I'm sharing it with all of you. You should be able to see it on your screen right now.
Got it.
Financials are looking great. Paul, do you have any comments on staffing?
I was thinking about that because we get a contractor types in.
Rex, get down!
No, I
To me, staffing is a huge impact.
Is
Is that me?
It's not me. Not me.
I just want to go over a couple of details as we move into our next section here. We got 3 new departments coming on board.
Break it up a little bit, guys.
By the end of Q3.
I'm
Just
in that
wanting
spot.
everyone to give me detailed evaluations each
Sorry,
month.
guys.
So that's it, guys. Beth, you'll send out a recap email that could have basically taken the place of this whole meeting, correct?
Yep, always do.
Yeah, thanks for doing that, Beth. Dave, you been here the whole time?
Yeah.
Fun. Well, thanks everyone once again. Oh, one more.
Right, that's typically how it would have happened if we had a physical face-to-face meeting. So it just shows you, ladies and gentlemen, whatever else you are busy with, just stick with the presentation, because that's why people don't usually participate. They're busy with their own stuff, and just to say they have done the online stuff, and then when the results come out or the work, you see they have never actually attended what was going on screen. But luckily, Teams also gives statistics of who did what during a meeting. So one can immediately see that. Even in Moodle, I can pick it up with students as well. Right. So that is what would have happened if a meeting could have been online. So ways to capture and save the research data then with all of these tools I have listed here. So we can use something like online forms, Google Forms, or even your Microsoft shared forms, collaboration documents like Google Docs, or working in Microsoft Word in Teams. Did you know you can do that? There's a sharing option in your Microsoft Word that you can use. Spreadsheets, we can work collaboratively also in OneDrive. Recorded meetings, you can analyze the data from that. That is what I usually do. Then screenshots and image uploads can be shared, like what people do usually in chat lines. They can share screenshots, audio notes, which are actually very popular, and the AI can analyze those for you. Logs of chats, like everything that comes through in a chat, one can also get data from that and use that as a virtual data gathering tool. Zotero and Mendeley, which a lot of you might know, there you can add references toward from different people into one database. Of course, mind maps and diagrams by Miro and Lucidchart, and Jamboard, although Jamboard is busy expiring, it's been replaced by Miro. So it's quite important there. And then version history of how many times something has been changed, and auto backups. Those are done in Google Workspace, which is also free. And then Microsoft 365 can do those versions for you as well. Another data gathering tool you can use that is similar to a word cloud is this one in Answer Garden. So Answer Garden also creates word clouds. And if I, for instance, go into Answer Garden, which is free, there it is. Because it's free, it will give a lot of options and different advertisements on the screen. But you can see here when you set it up, it can be shared, and I can use other options like in Facebook, X now, not Twitter anymore. All of these online options, I can share it in, I can export the data, I can get the QR code, share it locally. The admin will allow me to put in passwords and use different things. And then if I think there's a lot of rubbish going on, I can refresh the screen to get updates of the word cloud on the screen. So Answer Garden is a good one. It's not like the old-fashioned Mentimeter anymore, because someone heard Mentimeter somewhere now. Everybody's using it. But I don't know how long it will still last. So that is an option there. I think this one will open up in Answer Garden. Someone can test it for me. I'm just pasting the link quickly in the chat. And if you click on it, you will see if you get into that Answer Garden, which was simply created by just putting up the or putting the link that it gives to me, I can actually give to everybody online. So let's just open this one again. So if any one of you click on that and it opens up and you type in your word, what makes collaboration in research difficult? Just a word there or an idea, and you'll see the word cloud pops up from this. Right, so that is quite a good one to use as well. If you're not using Teams' word cloud or many of the free available word clouds. I can quickly show while you are clicking there and answering. I can say, for instance, here, free word cloud. There's free word cloud generator, and you can see how many of them are available. Right. And all of these one can use to gather data. Usually it gives the link, like the one I've just posted inside the chat, and then I can see and share the participation here as well. Right. So that is the way in which I would share or gather data with something like Answer Garden for instance. Right, so, and then if I look at my options here, these are the things I must really look out for before or when I plan these things. You must define the clear research objectives to ensure that the data gathering is aligned with your specific measurable research question or hypothesis. Choose the right tool. So it should not be one that I want to know a sentiment analysis and now I give a voting poll. So I must think carefully beforehand of all of this, or I can ask the AI what can be recommended. Pilot test the tool first. So run a trial with a small group of people, or give the link to your colleagues and see if it opens up and it looks in the way that you expect it to look like, or at least see how it would look like for people. Ensure that there's ethical compliance. You can also go and you can prepare the data capture instrument beforehand, like with Teams. When I had a look at this specific link that was sent to me where we are in now, what I did was I already set up the drafts of the voting poll and the word cloud. And the day before yesterday, I already set up the answer garden part so that I can just link to it so that I'm prepared. I cannot sit there and say you must do this and then suddenly see, oh, I haven't shared it or it's not done properly. Set validation rules. For instance, if you want someone to type in a number, if you say, give the number of times you've been online, and people type out the words 24 and not the number, you must set validation rules to say, type in a word, type in only the numbers, type in only letters, type in only a formula, whichever validates the data, else your data is not perfectly clear. And you have to go and change on it again. And then you've changed data which is not ethically correct. Decide on how long it would take and how you would distribute it or disseminate it to the audience if it's online. Provide participant instructions. Tell people what to do in there. Just don't throw it open and now someone sits there and they don't know what to do. And you must say to them, now you must click, now you must vote, something like that. Ensure that everybody's got accessibility, and specifically if you work in diverse groups, if it is mobile friendly. I still don't get it how staff of UJ attend something like this on a mobile device like a cell phone, because that is not, unless it was cell phone orientated to gather data from there. Right, and set up automated data storage. If usually it is available, all the data will be stored automatically as I went along with these tools. If it is not, you must devise a way to get the data with screenshots by means of a Google form or Microsoft SharePoint forms or any other way of getting a central point for online virtual data gathering. It's important because you want to analyze it. Right. Any questions so far before I continue? Okay. Right. So our next part is also a very, very simple way of gathering data virtually with these tools. And What I like is the immediacy of it and the simple way in which we can use what is already available. I often question why people go and they say, but now I need a research grant or fund to get software to analyze data. While you already have so many things available and you already have these things, why does one want to buy additional software? Or why does one want to hire an additional data analyst when the AI or these tools could have done it for you within minutes? So one must also consider what is available already before just jumping off and spending money on stuff that will be used once. Right. And these simple tools to use would be what Google offers us. The same is available in Microsoft SharePoint, but if you want a more of an easier access, you can use your Google Drive and Google's apps to do these things. So I'm not promoting Google, I'm just using it because it is so straightforward and easy to use. That's why most of the world uses it. So what you can do is if you set up a Google form, you gather the data there, and the responses or the data will be available automatically in a Google Sheet. And from the Google Sheet, you are able to do whatever you want with the data to analyze it. So let's first of all have a look at this one. I'm going now in the chat, and here everybody must participate in this one. I'm going to share a simple Google form with you, right? Okay, and the Google form is posted there in your chat. So click on that form and let's get responses from you so that I can show you how I would, in a simple form, for instance, analyze the data. So what I've got on screen is I've got my Google Drive. And of course, you know, if you've got a Gmail address, you automatically have a Google Drive. So when you open Google anywhere, you'll find these apps of Google here. And Drive is a free 15 gigabyte cloud space you have in Google. And inside Google Drive, you can, of course, have all these apps. You can use spreadsheets, Google Forms, and many more. For those of you who did not know, you can do it here. So I have set up my Google form. And as I open the Google form, with which I can add questions, as many I already have 10 responses, I can click here and the responses are already summarized for me. So here I can copy the chart, it will be downloaded, or I can paste it inside my report. So, and it visualizes. Here is the question, the responses, how many said what. I can also see individual responses if I want to, print it or clear the form. What is very nice is I can view this in a Google Sheet, which was set up. And there the sheet opens up for me. Now I can see. So what I can do is I can do a qualitative, quantitative, different one and ask the sheet as well to draw up a graph. So the different question answers, responses will appear in different columns. And that is how I would use it. So thank you for everybody who did this. So now I already have an idea of the research from my Google Sheet, which works exactly like Excel would work. And I will already have a summary here. Okay. Right. There's, of course, many ways also in Microsoft PowerPoint where I can even get the interaction like here. Quantitative 7 people, 70%. Qualitative 3 people, 30%. And it will give me the data interactively like here. If I copy the chart, I can paste it in PowerPoint and it will have this interaction if I want to present my research or take it further. So this is how I would use my Google Drive to create a Google form to gather data, post the form's link, get my data, and be able to analyze it. Right. Any questions on this, ladies and gentlemen? So now we see I can collaborate by recordings, getting reactions from people in the chat, getting interactions like these tools which are available, and I can also get more data from forms and more interactions to be able to analyze. So these, what I've shown you up until now, are what most of the people globally throughout the world use to gather data because it's easy and straightforward. And I stated in my data gathering under the methodology that I've used a Google form and the Google Sheets and I have analyzed it. I have used a word cloud in Teams. I have used a word cloud which is called Answer Garden or Mentimeter or whichever word cloud you can use. I've used voting polls. I've used various things. Miro, which I've spoken about earlier, is the one replacing Jamboard. And I just want to show you how it looks like. If you just Google Miro, you get Miro AI, because the AI generates the data for me. Many how to use little videos available. If I go to a lot of people, I can do pricing, else I sign up free, right? And you can see if you log in and you've got a Google account, you can directly with your Microsoft or Google account, just log in. Miro's just logging me in quickly. And here you can see how many things you can do in Miro. Flow charts together with other people at the same time. Mind maps. There's your Kanban framework. Quick retrospect. Brain writing with sticky notes that's put up online. Roadmap planning. So that's how I plan. Watch how many there are. The touch points, what comes. Microverse has even got a lot more. And so I can go on, and with Miro, there's these other things. Here I can, let me just go home again. And here you can see I, for instance, have a mind map here that I've used last year. And I've asked a group of people, of lecturers that I worked with, I've showed them this. So I can get a problem, and now I can start adding to my mind map. And people can collaboratively, if I invite them and I share, I can get people drawing up a mind map. And when I present it, I can present the entire board on screen. And people can go and do collaboratively at the same time what they think must be done and give comments. So that's how I can collaborate around projects. Right. So I share it, I can add members, change colors, do different things that I want to do in Miro. Okay, so that is the mind map virtual collaboration that I can do. And this one I liked. I tried it yesterday. I wanted to do it today as an icebreaker, but I thought I'm not going to do that. You can make people, just to get familiar with the online environment, create their own characters. So I can continue. I can even create cartoons, choose a character map, for instance. And from here on, as I've got the map, I can start it. You can enlarge it. I can put in a head if I want to. Let's create a new character. Take Daniel out. And I can choose the head. I can choose the clothes. I can choose the face, the facial hair, and accessories like glasses. That was mine I created yesterday. Right. Then I can add more of these things in, get speech bubbles, texts, things like that. And apart from that, I can also go, I can present and share it to people just to familiarize themselves with these things. Of course, what I like about Miro, not only this, but if I explore here, here you go, cases, different blueprints, integration, what's new, all of these little things that one can create when you look at these various data collaboration tools. Right, ladies and gentlemen, so now, then there's a new one I can create. If I go to new board space, diagrams to plan things, concept maps are, of course, wonderful diagrams and flowcharts I can create. Right, so that's Miro, and it's replacing Google's Jamboard, and it's also free. So imagine the rich data you can get here if people participate fully, which is quite cool. Right, so this can happen in real time online. And of course, all of these templates that I can use are also downloadable. There you can see blueprints I can choose templates from. Yeah, the Miroverse is quite cool. I can create even diagrams, cartoons, things like that. What's there? Meetings and workshops, what I can use. Agile work spaces. Right. So when I've got all of this ready, even there's PI, in other words, where does it integrate? All of these things, diagramming and mapping, available. Team templates you can make, presentation and slides, what typically I want to use this for. So it's very good to play with. And the AI in here generates it for you, but you can see it also picks up what I've used and what it recommends for me to use. Right. Are there any questions on this, ladies and gentlemen? There are so many great, wonderful things of these out there. Right, and then, of course, a great option to use, and you can use Microsoft SharePoint, or you can use your Google Drive for this as well. When I create a Google Doc, which is nothing else than a word processing document like Word, inside this document, I've of course got options now to make people work together in the same document. And if people work together in the same document at the same time. You, of course, have to set the instructions and the rules beforehand. And you can also give responses immediately as people are typing and editing in here. And I do that by sharing the document. And I make sure, let me just skip this quickly, I don't restrict it, but I give the link to anyone. And anyone with a link, in this case, can be an editor of the document. Not only give comments and not only view, but be an editor. And the link is just simply copied to the memory, and I paste the link to wherever I want to see it, share it with, like in the chat that I've done. So then I can work in the same document. We are going to do that now. But what I like is when I work in Microsoft like this, it's a bit more accurate with the AI than Microsoft Word. But what the Google Doc does is it has got tools in here, and I can do voice typing. So what I like in here is the moment I click on this, click to speak. So the moment I work in this Word document, as I speak, it is really creating word by word of what I've done, full stop, next paragraph. So I'm also happy to see that the AI is still picking up what I am doing, full stop. Next paragraph. Please write this down as a collaborative effort between me and the audience while I'm doing this workshop on virtual collaboration tools. Full stop. Next paragraph. Next paragraph. You see, so as I speak, it is going on and it is merely writing down what I'm saying, but now I can use this as a transcript as well. Full stop. And I just click to make it stop. So, and what I can do more than this is as I am voice typing, the system gets to know certain things. So my editing, I can physically do. Inside my document. And what's nice about Google Docs is if I want to download this file, I can choose if I want it as a Microsoft Word or any of these formats that's available. Right. So that would be my simple using my Google Doc. Right, and the datas, of course, if I close this one and I go in there, you can see there's the document already stored. So I can just go back and I'll find it again and I can share it with other people. Now, to work collaboratively, I've set up this document. And here I want us to think a bit. I'm going to give everybody 10 minutes. Let's make it 15 minutes to participate in here. It's anonymous. So I want us all to think about ethical, logistical, in other words, planning and practical working, and how productive. All of those I can be, those aspects of virtual research collaboration. I'm going to share the link with you now, and you will all get this. And you can just click and type in there like you would have used a normal Word document. What is interesting is I'm going to leave this screen open so that you all can see how this document is being produced as you are all collaborating. Okay, so let me get the link of this specific document that I've created for you. I'm going to paste it inside the chat now. It's shared. You are all editors, so you can work in the same document. Let's just see quickly. Right. Okay. It is in the chat, and I'm opening it as the facilitator, and I'm sharing with you. So all that you do is click on that and just a few ideas or words. It doesn't have to be accurate. You don't get marks for this, but I want to uh, get you there. I already see, you see, it gives us different animal names to be anonymous as we log in. So the badge is already logged in. So I don't know who you are. I could have asked it not to be anonymous, but I want it like this now. And you can type what you think in here. Reflect on ethical, logistical, and productivity aspects of virtual research collaboration. And just jot down one or two words in each one of these columns. There's already 3 people logged in, and you'll see as they start typing, it will appear here on the screen. Right, let me give you 10 minutes to do that, and then we'll see if we could wrap up or not. Okay, thank you, ladies and gentlemen, and let's collaborate. I'll be back with you in 10 minutes.
Dr. Arno, can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Uh, it seems like I can't edit the document. It says I should request an edit access.
Okay, that is exactly what I wanted. Thank you. That is put under the logistical. See that you have given the correct access. I'm quickly doing this again. I'm going to say share. I say anyone with a link. Can you see the mistake? Is a viewer. I'm now going to say editor. It's updating, and now I'm posting the new link in the chat line. So here we go. There's your correct link in the chat line. You can see there we've got people now who can start typing. I'm clicking, yes, there you go. I'm going to type in here as well. I'm going to type something in here. Okay. You can see there's a few people already working together in the document. That's cool. You can see how much data and ideas you can get. The same with Miro if you want to draw diagrams and things. I have just added emojis there. So in real time, I can actually react on while people are collaborating here and getting it together. I might say something here like next to get approval, I might type in, shouldn't there be something here and something here? So in real time, you can see you can even edit, and this picks up what people are writing in here. Right. Yes, go on typing penguin. This is good. Okay. So now I get data and I can collaborate with people in here. And it is going on. What's very interesting about this now, ladies and gentlemen, is such a document or a space where people are working on something together to create, to plan, to edit, to give data, whichever the purpose is you're using for. People should be aware of the rules over this, and that is that we do not erase or type over other people's work. We can correct and edit, but not just erase and take it away. Those are the ethical concerns around this. And of course, I can save and share what is in this document as well, as everybody worked on it at the same time. And that is what makes it interesting. Now, before I come back to this, I'm going to leave it open. I just want to go back to the first, one of the first slides we had a look at there. And it was before the video, and I believe that one. What is happening here is in a meeting or a discussion, these people are all working together, drafting a proposal for a grant for their research. So this might as well have been a planning session, a chapter, a diagram, anything that people are working on at the same time, so that I don't have those hiccups that I've shown with a video where people are not really collaborating. They're just there because they have to be there. And that is how effective it is in the way that I can actually use it. So looking at this, and I see all the collaborators in there, I can even insert a video, I can insert a picture at the same time, and I could also insert a flow chart or a drawing, anything in here where people can work together inside this document. So all the editing rights and the tools available in the Google Doc I can use for this type of collaboration. But I can go further. I now have a bit of data in here. So what I can actually do is I can choose any of the artificial intelligence large language models. I'm going to use ChatGPT, my favorite, Just want to accept all here and log in quickly. Right, and at this stage, I can say to ChatGPT, I want to use this data. So let's say I might take something simple and say, please create a word cloud from the following data. And now as I go into my Word, or my Google Doc, I can take the words, copy them, and give it to the AI so that I can see maybe there is something of a word cloud that I can get here. Right. Important also is that while it's analyzing this and drawing the word cloud, I just want to jump in here again, where a lot of people work together on the same thing, especially generating a document or producing knowledge in real time that I can physically see. That is what people have been doing for many years when they went to conferences. And in Hawaii, at the airport at Honolulu, a lot of people always come together and share ideas and documents for conferences. It became a tradition if ever one goes to a conference in Hawaii. And the Hawaiian word for doing this is wiki. And that is where the internet term, a wiki, comes from. So where academics collaborate on knowledge and add on to it, and all the rules are stipulated on the sites, we get something like Wikipedia, where people blabber out some information in documents that the public shouldn't know. It's known as WikiLeaks. And the Wikipedia is one of the most familiar wikis we know. So, ladies and gentlemen, you and I actually now have created a wiki here, and that is what we have done. We've done it online, and we are now also using it in the form of data collaboration. So let's just quickly see what it is doing here for us. It is quickly plotting things. It's still generating. Okay. Right. Let's just see. Okay. Still busy. In the same way, I'm going to leave it just for a while. And then in the same way, what the AI is actually doing is it gives us the ability to go and draw up word clouds from what we want. Ethical data management, it already entitled this. I think it's because I'm logged in double. That's why it's doing it. So it will now generate a word cloud for me, which I can come and download after a while. Okay, so while the wikis opened up, you will also notice that right here at the bottom, if you scroll down, I've given you the link to the presentation screens, the slides of today, which I have uploaded here in my Google Drive, and you can just download it. It will come from here, so I can share this also in real time. So there you can click and you'll find the link to this. Okay, right. I see the anonymous penguin is there and is busy generating this. Let me just, I think the UJ network has just done this. Let's just see if it gives me this. Now, what's interesting, okay, there we go. And there the AI has created the word cloud for me. So you can see what comes in there a lot with there's authorship, and now I've got and data and ethical is quite big words, intellectual access, and so I can find a lot of things coming from the word cloud here. Okay, so that would be if I use the AI to do it, and I can of course download it and paste it as well inside my. Does it like the personality? Okay, I'm happy with that. And so I can download this, can download from Google Docs or anywhere where I feel I need the data to be pasted in. Okay, any questions, ladies and gentlemen? No one? Are you happy? Okay.
Sorry, Doc, can I ask?
Yes, sure.
Yeah, with regards to this, and then if now I download it and paste it, let's say on my research, and then will
Yes.
it then be flagged as plagiarism or AI?
No, it won't be flagged like this. What you say in your research is, I have used a large language model to generate the word cloud from the data I have gathered.
Okay,
So,
same with
yeah.
the use of a Mira AI, the one whereby we are generating graphs and diagrams, so on.
Yes, yes. You state, and it's all in your methodology in the beginning. I have used a large language model to generate the word cloud. I have used Miro to create this diagram. What you can also do is you can type something. I'm doing it on the screen quickly. I can say this is a word cloud, and I put in brackets, created by ChatGPT. Okay. Or I would type in something like, this is a diagram created in Miro. They are not sources. They are tools used. So let me
Okay.
just go in here. Yeah, so you never note down any AI as a source, because then it means the AI did everything. So careful of that. But if you've used it as a tool because it gives a better visual or a better diagram or a neater one, you just say it's a tool that you've used. But it's inside your methodology. I'm going to download it. There you can see it's downloaded. So if I would have used this in my work, I can just say there, insert image. I've downloaded it. It doesn't work with the copying and pasting, right? And there it places it in, and I might say figure 1, which is the word cloud, and it's created by ChatGPT. It's usually in bold. What's also important is usually if I do figures or graphs like this, I just think it's a good thing. I just put in a line around it so that it's neat. Okay, so simple as that. And people can see here. So I've done nothing wrong. I've gathered data from you and everybody who beautifully participated in this. And now I put it in here and I can say, there is my word cloud. Maybe I must be a researcher on, and what was this first one I used? On ethical considerations. Let's say ethical considerations. Yeah, or ethical, let's call it conduct in online data gathering. Okay, right. So now I've got my figure, I've used the AI, I've done it very fast and effective with a simple wiki. I could have gathered the data with a Google form. I could have gotten the graph and the data from a sheet, a Google sheet as well. Right. Okay. Any other questions on these type of tools that are freely available and that I can use, ladies and gentlemen? Okay. You can see it's cool collaboration. We can all use this as much as we like and in more ways than only focusing on data gathering, but it enhances research in many ways to make it easier. And the nice thing about using AI and the available tools is that you don't only stay with something simple. I'd like to see what people think of ethical data usage. You can check that quickly, but now you can take it a bit further. In the ethical data, I found that the word data, ethical, and ownership is used quite well. Ownership, therefore, is an issue. So you can see you can go much deeper than only saying the words I found was data, ethical, and ownership. They counted the most. Yes, so what? But I can take the research a bit deeper. So that's important. So I hope this has enlightened you in a few ways to look at the virtual collaboration tools, which you can use with many groups and many people. Right. Any other questions, ladies and gentlemen? Okay. Then I say thank you for this opportunity. I think I have covered everything I wanted to cover this morning. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Dr. Anna, for that presentation. It was very informative and insightful session, I must say. And thank you to all our participants for your engagement and participating in all of these activities. I do hope and believe that colleagues who have attended today, they have learned something and they are taking something here to share with other colleagues, and those who are supervising to share with their students as well. So thank you so much, Dr. Arno, with that. To the colleagues, I have shared the feedback evaluation. We kindly request you to fill that in. It takes about 3 minutes. It helps us in terms of improving our service delivery as well as to give feedback to our facilitators. So I don't know if I will be closing anyone out if I end the session now. So colleagues, if you do have any question for Dr. Arno, just unmute your mic and ask your question, or alternatively type under the chat. I've now enabled all your mics, so this is now time for questions. If you do have any question or any addition, any input, just unmute your mic and ask your question or make your contribution. Okay, in the absence of questions, because I don't see any question from the chat, and
I think everybody's happy. There's one question, but I just wanted to say I think everybody's happy. The proof is in the pudding at the end. So,
yes, Doug. I see Kuto, your hand was up. Dr. Kuto, you can go ahead. Okay. Dr.
Everything is
Kuto,
fine,
can you
sir.
hear me?
Yes, everything is fine, sir.
Okay. Thank you for that. I see a question. How do we get the recording? The recording will be uploaded to your respective model communities, which I do believe that all of us are enrolled in. It's either supervisor community or PDRF model communities. So you will find those communities under your model activities or model course, and then you will find supervisor or PDRF community. That is where we usually upload our resources. Alternatively, we upload all the resources now under RCTMS, which is the new platform that we are currently using. So it's available under your U-Link, under services. The last option is RCTMS. Please do make sure that you register your profile, or your profile is already there but it's not yet complete. Just complete that profile, and then you will be good to access all the previous workshop recordings and be able to book for upcoming workshops. So in the absence of questions, colleagues, allow me now to end this session. Before I end, I would like to sincerely thank our facilitator, Dr. Anolu. Thank you so much, Doc, for always honoring our invite whenever we need your expertise or your help in terms of now empowering our supervisors and PDRF and postgraduate students. So thank you for that, Doc. Probably by next week, end of next week, I'll be sharing all the workshop that you have facilitated, attendant registers, as well as the feedback evaluations from our participants. So I'll share that information with you, Doc. And to all the participants, thank you, colleagues, for attending. Be in a lookout for other trainings or other workshops that we are currently offering. Yesterday, we started an Atlas TI workshop training that runs throughout this week. So be in a lookout for that. So every day there will be an Atlas TI training in collaboration with the library. So if you want more of the information regarding this, you can email RCT inquiries, and then they will give you the flyer where you can book any session throughout this week. So with that being said, thank you, colleagues. I'm now officially ending this session. You can have a great day further. Thank you so much. Before that, colleagues, I noticed that the certificate for some of the workshops in May were not sent. So that's because I was out of leave due to being sick. I had flu, so I couldn't send some of the certificates. However, the certificate will be sent by end of this week. So all the certificates for May and June, since the beginning of June, will be out this week. Thank you so much, colleagues. I'm now officially ending the session. Thank you once again to Dr. Anolu. Thank you.